My name is Patrice, and this is my story.
Well, the Patrice I knew in the past wasn't serious about her future. Someone who was just, I would say, a rebel in the sense of, taking risks, taking chances of, especially with her education, with her life. And I worked with Patrice Cleveland as one of her counselors to help her to get back on track. And Patrice and one of my students identified because of academic problems, behavioral problems, attendance problem that needed to help her, to become successful as a student. Because she was a challenge. A lot of times students that you see, like a Patrice, their background, their environment, their upbringing, sometimes a major factor. And I think with her, it was something that we really had to give her the resources, the assistance to help her, to also keep her in school.
I was basically involved in drugs, alcohol, cigarettes. I end up selling drugs and not completing the 10th grade, not even entering it. As I started wanting to sell drugs, the money was, I guess, a good thing, an adrenaline, a rush for me. So the faster the money was coming, the more I wanted to do it.
Patrice, a student at Seneca High School, found herself wondering, maybe sometime in a dark area, trying to get her to come to school, to come to class, because I knew she was a smart young lady, but sometimes that's not enough. They have to believe in themselves. They have to know that you, as a guidance counselor, care about them, but they also have to know that they care about themselves. It was, at that time in her life, it was the worldly things instead of coming to school. The friends that she was associating with was not the friend that encouraged her to be in school. So they was offering her, at this time in her life, instant gratification of getting her quick money, but not giving her the things that was going to enable her to provide her with skills to continue on to get her GED, because she wasn't there to get a high school diploma, so she was now working on GED. And then once the GED, get her on to get her a degree, a certificate at Tri-County Tech. So, yeah, it's the worldly gratification, instant gratification. I used to tell them that you can get quick money now, or you can stay in school, get your job, and have a career living to sustain you to get to where you are.
I end up having my first child in 2005. I had another child 2006. He tested positive for marijuana. He had some capabilities with having to wear a heart murmur and was, oh my God, and had to go to Greenville because Oconee couldn't care for premature babies at this point. I'm sure the people kind of told DSS that my son had tested positive for marijuana, so this is where DSS got involved. When DSS came in and took my other son, he was getting ready to turn 1 year old. Okay, it was like a wreck then, because I can remember handing him over to the police and he was just screaming, "Mama." I wanted to kill myself because this was a part of me and he was gone. I can remember still selling drugs because I still had to pay, I think, child support to DSS. I had no job. No one wanted to hire a felon. No education. at this point had no housing at this time. 2007, I ended up having baby 3. I think we were trying in the process of getting my son back and do that. My third son had to be in some type of DSS for 30 days due to I had a prior DSS case. 2011, I had baby 4, uninspected, but he's here and I love each and every one of them. So all of them are boys, no girls. I can remember going to school numerous of times, quitting, going back to school because I needed that money to pay my bills. So that was the reason I would quit going to school. I definitely wanted to be the role model that my children was in desperate need of, that leadership that they needed. So I definitely wanted a change. I wanted to do more, and I found Ripple of One. At an interview at Ripple of One, we were going through some goals, I believe it was. They were asking me my upcoming goals. And of course, one of them was getting my kids back, as well as furthering my education. I can remember Stephanie from Ripple of One telling me, if you stick with it, I will pay for gas for you to continue your GED. And then that did it. I think, okay, this is what I needed. I took a test and I think I was 70 points away from getting the GED, for actually going to take the, finishing up getting my GED. I can remember taking the test 5 different times, trying to grasp those 70 points. Sometimes I would get 10, sometimes I would get 30, sometimes I would get 20. It was never that actual 70 points as a whole. So I took that test 5 different times to gain that 70 points, and I got it. Right after gathering my GED, I went on to Tri-County Tech to proceed with my my associate's degree. My associate's degree was in administrative office technology. When I was selling drugs and would just spend money, I didn't have no budget, I didn't have no plan, so the object of it was make it, spend it. When I got into Ripple, I would meet with my financial coach monthly, and that was something I was desperate in need of, was to know how to budget, learn how to create a plan. I just been in my house. I'm a homeowner, been in there for a year. We loving it. My boys are with me. I do not have the 2 that I lost, but I would love to smell them, just to be there and get to know who I am now. I did write a letter to the adoption agency trying to contact and locate my boys. I hope the adoption people did get the letter and read it to my boys. I hope they're not 18 before I actually get to see them.
Patrice Cleveland, the person I know now, is a Patrice Cleveland I wish that we could have gotten when she was in high school. Just to see her so energetic and so full of life and so excited about, getting her education, fulfilling her dream, being able to, continue to grow as an individual, but also to be a mom, being a mom, being a responsible parent, because the Patrice in the past that would never ever be that mom that we thought she could have been back in the past, but now she is. And it's good to know that, and it's good to see that. And I see it, and I really think that she's on the right path to have a really successful life.
She is a loving person. She's a smile. She's sunshine in life. That smile that she has just open you up and say, hey, that's Patrice. She has now gotten to the point that she wants to be a viable part in the community and to help others. I like the new one, the new Patrice. She's on target.